Welcome to our 2022 Wildwood 24 RL XL. Starting right in the back bumper here, if you just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Just take note of those two gears and the adapter here. It's all be hooking it up to your sewer system. The hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here just help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher, and that cap just presses back into place. In this corner, as well as in each corner of the trailer, you're going to find a stabilizer jack. So what they do is they just run down, contact the ground to give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see getting the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. Kind of supporting those, you got the JT strong arms here as well, so you're just going to loosen that off, and that'll allow you to kind of have the bars telescope inside of each other, so that once you do have them set in place, you can tighten that handle back down and just ensure you don't have any forward and back movement. Up from there, you get a cable and satellite inlets, just a coax cable plug into their respective ports, fires up at your TV location. Towards the front, we get your power inlet. So as you pop that open, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. We'll press those in together, give it a little 8th turn, that'll lock it into place, and then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it down. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. A step ahead from there, we get your sewer system, so you're just going to kind of press on that cap, give it a turn, and then you can pop it out of there. And you see it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had, so that'll attach the same way, where you're just pressing it in and turning it until it locks. On the left you get a black valve, on the right you get a gray, so that black valve is controlling your black tank, gray valve is controlling your gray. Black tank is going to be filled from your toilets. That's of course going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll be dumping that first. Once that's done, you can then go to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water. We'll dump that last just to help keep that hose as clean as possible. Up from there we get your exterior shower, so you'll get a key just like this little guy there. You can stick it on in there, open it up. You get the standard 3-foot hose, standard head, hot and cold water, so if the dog's out getting muddy, you can spray him off before he gets inside. Tucking that hose around the handles and then the head back underneath and lock it back down. Up above that to the right there, you've got your city water connection. Okay. So you basically just take your water hose and plug it into there, turn on the water, and that'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. Right beside that, you get a black tank flush. So you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically it's just some debris inside of your tank hanging between the probes causing that misread. So what you're going to do is take your water hose and plug it into there, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank, getting rid of any sort of debris that could be causing that issue. One end of your storage compartment here, it's just magnetic latch, holds it open, straight through to the other side. Inside of here you'll find your water hose. Inside of that water hose you'll find your park adapter, 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Around front of the unit, up on the frame there, you'll get that little white box, has that red key in it. That's your battery disconnect switch. So with that up pointed towards on, that's it of course then turned on. Turning it off, you're just going to turn it counterclockwise until that key pops right out of there, and that's your battery then disconnected. Battery itself is housed inside of this box right here, so as long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. 2 knobs there, loosen them off, push them back. You can open up the flap, you get access to your propane tanks. So basically they're just teed into the one regulator there. So basically you just open it up, run off of that one. Once things stop working, you're going to close that one off, run off of the other tank while you get the other one filled. Up front you get a power tongue jack. So on the left there's your light switch, on the right up is up, down is down. Rubber plug back there, if you remove that you get access to a manual override, so if your battery were to die you can still run it up and down. Other end of your storage compartment here, so basically just wide open. Alright, see straight through to the other side. Up on that back wall there you'll find all of your manual override jacks. And then you also just get your laundry hamper here. This is a dry erase surface, so if you're looking to make some notes, just get yourself some dry erase markers and there you have it. Towards the back, you get a cable satellite inlet, or outlet, sorry. You can have your TV out here, power outlet for it down below. Straight up from there you'll find 2 exterior speakers. Right in between them you get your stove vent here. So of course propane stove is putting off fumes whenever you're using it, so you want to make sure this flap here is opened up, allowing any fumes to make their way out. Before travel, just click it back into place and that'll prevent any dust from kicking up in there. Exhaust for your furnace right there, so if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Hot water tank here, so you get that little keyway there, you just line it up, you can pop it on open. Control for turning it on with electricity is down in the bottom corner there. Turn on, switch on, turns it on with electricity. Turning it on with propane, you just got to switch inside of the unit. So once we get in there and turn it on with propane, I will go over reset procedure. The button that I'll refer to is just right here. Up top there, you get a pressure relief valve. So before turning it on with either source, you just want to hit that relief valve there and make sure that bit of water comes out. That bit of water coming out, it's just letting you know that tank is full. It's safe to fire it up, and you're not going to burn anything out by doing so. Once you're done, just press it back into place and lock it with the keyway. Right beside that, you get your fresh water inlet. So your water hose is just going to plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent right there. Straight down underneath, we get the drain for that. So you just pull that towards you, it drains itself out. And towards the back of the unit, right in the center there, you get your spare tire. Straight up from there, you'll find a pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. Now making our way inside, just the doors just on this friction hinge, so it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. Blue handle towards the center, and that'll unlatch it, and you can open it on up. You get the little tabs there on either side, you push those in, you can extend or retract your legs based on your campsite needs. And as we get inside, first things first, right on the left, you get your fire extinguisher. So that's standard, pull the pin, point, and shoot. Other wall from there, we get this dimmer here, so if you just touch that, it turns on all your lights. Press and hold, they'll dim them down. Continue holding, they dim back up, and just releasing at any point to kind of choose that level of lighting. Switch on the left here is your slide out switch, so press and hold the top of that and your slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, you're going to hear a couple of whines from the motors, and then they'll just kind of stop in place automatically. Two light switches on the right here. The one on the right does your awning light outside. The one on the left does an accent light above your slide. Awning itself is on this switch here, so press and hold the top of that, and that's the awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down as well as the black metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case our fabric will be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. There's our flap, just a little bit sticky, so we'll just kind of extend past, and then we'll come back. That'll have it come down. There we go. Alright, so if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways, so what you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear. I'm just going to kind of pull in on it, tighten down this knob there, and that'll lock it in place, changing the pitch of the awning out at the head. Now if you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you want to make sure those knobs are loosened back off and the arm's fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending it. Then we're going to press and hold your track. That awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric is over top of the tube. Another thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Two red switches beside it. On the left there, you get your water pump switch, so you turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater's right beside that, so you turn that switch on, you get that little red light up there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light will go out. It'll try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, it's at that point you'll go and use that reset button that we'd shown you. So stood right here, you can hear the click of the igniter and the whir of the flame. We know that tank is good. Monitor systems up top, so battery there, you can see you're currently C for charging, G would be good, F is fair, L is low. For your fresh tank, as you fill that up, you go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Up top there, you can see our pre-wired for solar, so if you're to go that route, your charge controller is being mounted right there. Across the back wall, you have, of course, all your storage here. There's just this one little light kind of right underneath, just on its own center push button. Blinds throughout the unit are all just these slow rides, so you just kind of pop them and they make their way up. Once you're done, you just kind of bring them down and they sit where you leave them. This is a folding couch here as well, so we just kind of pick up the base. Actually, I guess we just get rid of those first, and then pick up the base. Folds on down. Folding it back up, you do kind of want to bring that back around with it. Underneath, you do get storage. There are some bins in there for you as well. Same sort of open storage at the end. Identical at the other side here. USB charging as well as a power outlet on either end. Into the dinettes here, and you get your one little light up top, center push button. The table here, if you wiggle that up and out, you can pull it out of the table legs. The table legs will do the same thing out of your bases, and then just lay the table legs down. You have the ledges on either side there. The table will then lay down onto those. You'll take the back cushions to fill in that center and create a bed. Either side of the dinette also has the little storage, again with more bins in there. Into the kitchen, and you get your storage up top. So you're going to find that binder there. That binder has all of your owner's manuals in it. Any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you'll find right in there. Above the sink, get a little light there, center push button again, mobile head at the sink, hot and cold water, folding sink cover, just folds on up. It is stainless. If you need to put something hot in there, you can. Underneath there, you get a little bit of storage, just being mindful of your drains. Right, then right behind this panel here is just that one screw. You can pull that out, gives you access to your hot water tank. So if you're looking to winterize the unit yourself, once it comes time, it's just right back there. Microwave up top, it's pretty standard, just like home. Not much I'm going to teach you there. Down underneath that, you get your range vent, so you get your light as well as your fan. So that fans that have fans of what you want with that flap outside opened up. Then the bifold cover just flips on back. You're going to press the knob into high, hit it with the lighter, and you can see she fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it back to off. Light switch on the right side there does all of your knobs as well as your oven. So once you have that oven turned on, then you can open it up, press that knob in, turn it over to the little flame, hit it with the igniter, and once it clears the air out of the line, you can see it fires right up. And then you can just hold the knob in for another couple of seconds and release, and the flame will hold itself, turn up to your desired temperature, and she fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it back down to pilot or off if you're going traveling. Beside that, you get your 12 volt fridge. So up top's your freezer, down below is your fridge. Excuse me. Up top you get temperature control there, return air for your furnace right down underneath, so you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. And then up on the wall here you do have your TV backer. Up above that you get your smoke detector. Great. Prepared for Wi-Fi, cable and satellite outlet, antenna outlet. Turning that antenna on, just that button there, you get that green light. 120 volt outlets. Thermostat on the side here, so your power button there, turn it on. Hit it again, it'll come into fan low, so that's just moving air around. Just the low fan turns on, and then high fan turns on, moves some air, and you get cool high. So at this point the compressor will come in and out as needed. High fan all the time, low fan all the time, and the compressor in and out as needed. Cool low auto is where it becomes on demand, where it'll have both the compressor and the fan cut in and out as needed, but it'll only use the low fan. Same idea in cool high auto, it's on demand, but it only uses the high fan. Two different options with the air conditioner. You can have those louvers closed, or you can open them up. So if they're open, it's just dumping all of this air into the living room here. If they're closed, it starts using all the ducting. After that, you hit the bar again, it'll come into heat, turn off the air conditioner and turn on the furnace. At any point, you're just using your arrows there to select your temperature. Furnace will be moving its air through all your little black portals. After heat, you hit that bar again, come down into off, and then just cycles back around. Stereo on the side here, so the power button there, turn it on. If you press the power button again, that just mutes it. Press and hold to turn it off. Zone 1 is your outside set of speakers. Zone 2 is your inside set. AM, FM, you can cycle through all of your bands. USB is just right up front here. Bluetooth connect to your phone. Source, press that and it'll cycle through everything else. Press and hold, you get into all of your settings. Fireplace below that, so you get your power button on the right there. You get your flame color center right. In the middle you get that bottom illumination. Center left you get your temperature, so low, high, and off. Then all the way on the left there you get your timer, 30 minutes up to 9 hours. Down underneath that you get your converter, press the top and center and it pops on open. All of your breakers in the middle there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so you just got to turn it off and then back on to reset it. On the right side you get all of your fuses. Whenever a fuse pops, you get a little red LED right beside it letting you know exactly which one went. Right beside that, right around the corner, you get your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, it'll sit on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Then into the bathroom, and your light switches up on the wall here. Get your GFI protected outlet beside it, so test on the bottom, reset up top. Medicine cabinet here, you can open that up and you get that little tongue there. It just holds onto this elastic as your travel strap. Down below that you get your sink, hot and cold water of course. Storage down below, just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. More storage up on the back wall here. And down below that is your toilet. So just flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side. Into the shower, you get the standard head and hose. Right? And then right above my head here, you get your roof vent. So you're just turning that knob to open it up. Back corner, you get a switch, turns on the fan. More storage. Then up in the bedroom, light switches over on the wall here. You get your closet right beside that. Picking up the foot of your bed, you do get access to your storage compartment up front. Closet space on either side is identical, so if you open it up, you do have that CPAP access, so there's a power outlet in there as well. Then also just on this side here, you get your laundry hamper. Super simple. Then over on that wall there, as signified by the poster, you get your TV backer, so right up by it, you get your cable and satellite outlet, as well as your power outlets. So that's about it for this unit. So if you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.